You're watching Tamaqua's Choice for news, weather, and live local sports. WYLN, we're your local network.
Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight on WYLN News. I'm Gary Perna. 2 men are behind bars following a short chase in the city of Hazleton. Just after 11 last night, Hazleton officers were on patrol and spotted a gray BMW at 4th and Grant Streets. The vehicle then took off at a high rate of speed, leading officers on a chase for a few blocks before coming to a stop on James Street. Once the car stopped, police officers said 44-year-old James Stevenson exited the car and began to take off. He was stopped by police and found to have an active warrant out for his arrest on drug charges. Officers found 30-year-old Shaquille Jermaine Scott in the car with a black digital scale with white residue on it. Scott was taken into custody and found to have $849 in his left jacket pocket and a cell phone. Investigators revealed Scott came from Frackville to meet with Stevenson for 2.5 ounces of crystal meth. Stevenson was found to be in possession of approximately 83.2 grams of that meth. Both are now facing a list of charges, including distribution and possession of paraphernalia, among others. Both males were then processed and they were charged and subsequently taken to Luzerne County Correctional Facility for overnight arraignment in Hazleton. The case of a 40-year-old man from Hazleton will be going to Luzerne County Court. Alexandro Martinez faces charges, some felonies in connection with fighting birds found at the Hazleton Post Office back in December. The birds were in a box with a destination of Puerto Rico. His attorney argued that during a preliminary hearing yesterday that anyone could have used his name and address on a shipping label, but it does not mean that he was the person shipping the birds. He's been out on unsecured bail since his arrest in January. No court date has been set. A quick arrest after a holdup in Wilkes-Barre last night. Police say a robbery happened at the Rite Aid on East Northampton Street around 9:30. It was about 15 minutes later when 24-year-old Ryan Coffey of Wilkes-Barre was taken into custody just a few blocks away. There were no reports of any injuries. A Hanover Township man is accused of fatally stabbing a romantic rival has pled guilty to third-degree murder. 31-year-old James Carter entered the plea in court yesterday afternoon, which carries a maximum penalty of 20 to 40 years in prison. Prosecutors say Carter killed 18-year-old Joel Lewis last month when he found Lewis in a home Carter shared with his fiancée at the time at Marion Terrace Apartments. Carter will be sentenced in April. The former clerk of courts in Carbon County is accused of taking nearly $43,000 from his office. He waived his criminal charges to county court. William McGinley of Lehighton appeared before a magistrate in Jim Thorpe on charges of theft by unlawful taking, receiving stolen property, among other listed charges. The state office of the Attorney General announced 169 incidents of over 5 years where fingerprinting or booking fees were collected at the county prison and turned over to the clerk of court's office, and no deposits were entered into the administrative office system of Pennsylvania court computer system, according to papers. There were also 69 court cases where bail was posted in cash over 4 years, and that were turned over to the clerk's office but were never deposited nor noted in the computer system. McGinley told investigators that he took booking fees and bail money from the prison to use in gambling. That's according to court papers. He thought he only had taken about $20,000 over the years and was surprised to learn that number was closer to $43,000. According to court papers, McGinley remains free on $50,000 unsecured bail. Following the arrest of a band director of Nativity BVM High School on Monday, the school now says it has counselors on hand. 71-year-old Dale Seven of Frackville was arrested and charged with committing sexual acts with a 13-year-old boy last Friday. According to the principal, Lynn Sabel, counselors from Catholic Charities are at the school to help where they can. Following the arrest on Monday, Sabel sent a letter to parents about what had happened. In that letter, the principal said that the band director was first a volunteer with the school and became a part-time band and chorus director. Sabel went on to say that during the time that he has been affiliated with Nativity BVM, nothing was reported to them or ever brought to their attention. According to the diocese, Jim has been suspended from this position pending the investigation. He was charged with statutory sexual assault and deviant sexual intercourse, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse of a person less than 16 years old, among other charges. Court papers state that Jim and the victim went out to dinner, after which he took the victim back to his home where the sexual assault took place. He was committed to the Schuylkill County Prison on $100,000 straight cash bail. A preliminary hearing has been set for March 12th. Freeland Borough Council appointed a new council member at their meeting last night. Jim Fisher will fill the vacancy. Now, he once sat on council years ago. Freeland Borough decided to hold off on writing the 2011 Multimodal Transportation Grant Letter until their next meeting.
Right now we're just going to look at the finances, see what's going to happen, probably make a list of things, and then go from there.
However, they are applying for an LSA grant for Phase 2 of the Event Center, which will be the new home of the borough building once finished. Stormwater billing was also changed from monthly to quarterly for homes and businesses.
It takes 2 weeks to do just the bills, and by doing it this way, it will relieve our secretary and thus the borough in general. It'll help us a lot.
Council President Chris Black appointed Councilman Dan Bobby to Freeland at Freeland's last meeting to a committee to address the recent parking issues in the downtown as well. Coming up on WYLN News, Real ID will soon be happening. Are you ready? Plus, mold was found at the Luzerne County Community College. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast here on WYLN. Thursday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 30. We'll see mostly cloudy skies on Friday, a high of 37. We'll see some morning snow on Saturday, a high of 39. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. The Falvello Law Firm, located at 314 Main Street, Suite A in Cunningham, offers help with car and truck accidents, wills, powers of attorney, and estates. With a small team of attorneys, they work directly with each and every client, serving all of northeastern Pennsylvania, and they are proud to offer legal services that make a real difference to you. Call them at 570-788-4191 today.
Have you been waiting for huge savings on your next truck? The wait is over. Stop into All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during Ram Truck Month to get the truck you want at the discount you've been waiting for. Get a 2019 Ram 1500 for 0% for 72 months in 90 days until your first payment. Or lease the 2019 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express for $199 a month. The best deals on new trucks are going on right now at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Tonight, Hazleton City Council will hear a presentation on the streetlight replacement project that could brighten up Hazleton. Representatives from SmartWatt will share plans about the city-wide streetlight replacement project that Mayor Jeff Cassett has been calling for since 2013. The city will use a $200,000 gaming grant it secured shortly after Cassett took office and money it saved from energy efficiencies to pay for the replacement of some 1,400 aging light fixtures and either relocate or adjusting the output on another 200 existing LED fixtures. It is possible that citywide project could yield a savings of between $93,000 and $111,000 per year after the loan is paid off. That's according to the project documents. Some council members say they are waiting to listen to the presentation, but they do have some questions about the project overall. The council meeting starts in about 20 minutes at Hazleton City Hall. Pennsylvania is about to start issuing driver's licenses that allow holders to board commercial airlines and enter certain secured federal facilities when federal Real ID standards take effect in Pennsylvania next year. The State Department of Transportation plans to issue the Real ID starting this Friday. Those who want one must bring proof of current address, a social security card, and proof of identity, such as a passport or birth certificate, to a driver's license center. About 170,000 people got pre-qualified and can order theirs online. There are about 10 million Pennsylvania driver's license and ID card holders in the state. The Real IDs cost $30 and meet federal anti-terrorism standards, but are optional and aren't necessarily needed to drive legally. The federal Real ID standards will take effect in Pennsylvania on October of 2020. There will be new voting machines in places across the state in time for the 2020 election. Today, Luzerne County voters can get a look at some of those machines from 5 prospective vendors who are vying for the job. The Voting Machine Expo is underway at the Luzerne County Courthouse. It started at 4:30 and runs till 7. All of them contain one necessary thing, and that's leaving a paper trail for voter security. All are invited to stop at the courthouse to take a look at the systems, again until 7 p.m. tonight. Mold was found at the Luzerne County Community College's Educational Conference Center. The college will have to correct the problem at a cost of about $700,000. One was conducted and found that there was musty odors and it appeared to be mold on pipes and insulation in the mechanical room. Now, testing revealed hidden water and moisture damage as well. The college plans to seek bids to repair the work, which include adding some ceilings in areas to prevent moistures and replacing drywall, windows, and doors. The building first opened in 1982 and has 2 auditoriums and several multifunction classrooms and a full-service dining room. Coming up on Tresco's News Choice and Wellness Wednesday, we learn about childhood milestones and what parents need to watch for. Plus, the Ronald McDonald House received a donation today. The details are ahead. Stay with us.
It was Sunday morning. I was home alone. I was working on my chains and my left arm felt numb. I started being short of breath. I ended up calling 911. I thought it was a heart attack, but I wasn't really sure. They took me to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Pocono.
You have one heart and one choice when it comes to the best heart care. The hospitals and heart specialists of the Lehigh Valley Heart Institute.
You just don't think it will happen to you. I'm very fortunate.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm going to tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Minutes away. That's right, you're just minutes away from a great deal on a new car, truck, or SUV from Barber Ford. 2 great locations, Exeter and Hazleton. The best deals on America's #1 brand are just 25 minutes from Prattville, 26 minutes from Jim Thorpe, 28 minutes from Tamaqua, 20 minutes from Shavertown, and 28 minutes from Clark Summit. Barber Ford in Exeter and Hazleton. Online at barberautogroup.com, where nobody sells for less.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesday here on Community and You, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. We're on location again at the Health and Wellness Center, thanks to our friends at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And today we're talking about some early speech milestones and something that every parent needs to be aware of, some things that we should be listening for, some things we should notice right away, and Jen's going to tell us all about them. So Jen, we were talking before we started taping here, and you said there are things that we need to pay attention for. So when we're hearing our kids talking and starting to form words, there are certain things that we need to pay attention for so we know that they're on the right track.
Yep, absolutely. There is a wide variety and wide range of what's considered normal, but there are definitely red flags throughout those early months and years of development that we should be paying attention for. You know, when you bring that baby home within those first couple months, you want to see that, you know, as they're feeding, that they're latching well onto the bottle or the nipple, that they're feeding well, that they're getting adequate nutrition. You know, if they aren't eating well, that's a red flag. Another red flag in those early couple months is if they're not interested in looking at faces. So, you know, most parents know when they bring those babies home, they're very interested in you. They'll look right at your face. If they're not doing that, not trying to make that eye contact, that's a red flag. And another red flag is if they're not responding to any kind of sound. So, you know, you hear a loud noise, you turn to see what it is. If babies don't react, flinch, cry, do something when they hear loud noises, that's definitely a red flag. Should get them to the pediatrician right away to check those things out. As they start to get a little bit older, you know, they get to be around 6 months, there's some more skills that they should have. They should be starting to babble. They should be able to, you know, pick toys up, hold on to them. They should be able to track moving objects with their eyes. You know, they start putting things in their mouth, exploring things. If they're not doing any of that, it's definitely something that you should be concerned about. Also around that age, if you know you go to pick your child up and they seem to always be very stiff, or if they seem floppy like a rag doll, those are also red flags that you want to address with your pediatrician. Then moving on a little bit later in life, as we get to that first year, if your child's not crawling by the time they turn a year, that's a big red flag. Another one is if they don't have a couple of words. Usually those first couple words are mama, daddy, you know, maybe a sibling's name, a favorite pet. If they don't have at least 2 words by the time that they're 12 months old, that's a red flag for us. You know, that's something that you want to address with the pediatrician. Also, from a comprehension standpoint, if they're not able to point to pictures, you know, if you sit and look at a book with them and say, oh, where's the puppy, where's the dog, where's the kitty, you know, can they point to those pictures in the book? They also should be able to stand independently, and at that age, if you start to see that they had a skill and they've stopped doing it, that's definitely a big red flag that you want to bring up with the pediatrician.
I know when we have bringing that new child home, you know, we're so content and going, oh my God, every little thing, you know, we're marking everything down. And sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, just a baby, you know, something's brought out. What would you say to new parents who are, you know, seeing that and saying, should I be worried that my kid isn't doing?
You know, there's a wide range of what's normal. You know, sometimes kids do a certain skill earlier. Another child might do a different skill earlier. The brain can only focus so much cognitive energy on development, so it develops one area at a time. You know, in those early months, we're seeing a lot of physical development, more of those motor skills. They're crawling, they're starting to learn to walk, and then it's after they're walking, you see a huge language explosion. So, you know, some kids will talk a little bit earlier, walk a little bit later, or vice versa. So there is a wide range of what's normal, but at any point, we always tell parents, if you have a concern, bring it up with the doctor. You know, it's better to bring it up with your pediatrician, to have a conversation about it, instead of letting it go until it's a major problem that, you know, now we're kind of trying to play catch up. Okay. Yeah, and then especially after that first year, when we start to get closer to 18 months and 2 years, that's when you see a lot of the speech development taking place, where, you know, you really, if you don't see your child starting to say more and more, by 18 months, they should have no less than 6 words. They should be able to follow complete directions. You should be able to give them a 2-3 step direction. You know, cognitively, they should be able to try and stack block towers. Physically, they should be able to get that block tower pretty tall without it tipping over, have that balance. And definitely by the time that they're 2 years old, they should be talking in basic sentences, like I go, want juice, those 2 to 3 word sentences, not a complete adult-like sentence, but they should have little sentences by the time that they're 2 years. That from 1 year to 2 years is when they have that big language explosion. And then, moving on into those preschool years, you should see children talking pretty much in complete sentences by the time that they're 2 and 3 years old. They should be able to tell a story about something that's happened. They should be able to sing basic preschool songs, Itsy Bitsy Spider, Old MacDonald. They should be able to initiate those kinds of things.
All right, so there's a lot that goes in and that we have to pay attention and know about and look for too. So again, like Jen said, if you start seeing something and you notice something, talk to your physician and get your child in to see them and hopefully line them up to have some corrective actions if needed. Thanks for joining us here on Wellness Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Ralph M. Cameron, specializing in quality and affordable construction services for residential, commercial, and industrial, licensed and insured. Call 570-401-0654 today for all your construction needs.
Stop in at Two Italian Guys Pizzeria for the best pizza in town, serving a large variety of pizza, stromboli, and so much more. Open till 3 a.m. Take out or eat in. Delivery available. Call 570-459-2783.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Anshana Sharice, who is an acupuncturist. She's going to tell you a little bit about her practice and how it works hand in hand with chiropractic. Her story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Both the Danville and Scranton Ronald McDonald houses were presented a $900 check each from Honest Abe's Business and Tax Service on South Church Street in Hazleton today. Executive Director of Danville's Ronald McDonald House, Michael Turlett, and Scranton's Richard Bradshaw accepted the donation on behalf of their locations. Danville not only has overnight accommodations, but a 19-bedroom facility for the families as well as a day guest program.
Great distance, far and wide, their child's in the hospital. Once they know that the child is receiving the medical care that they need, then it's all the now what do we do questions come into place. So checks like this, organizations mean the world to us. Being a local non-for-profit, there's not a lot of Well's donors for both volunteer and financial support. So when we have wonderful individuals such as individuals from Honest Abe that come in and take time out of their busy schedules to help someone, it's amazing. And this type of money really is ensuring that we're there for the next families that need us.
It's always beautiful when the community comes together to help the Ronald McDonald House. We're about community, we're about family. When the community comes together to help us, they're really helping themselves in a lot of ways too, because it's so much easier when we come together and be able to do what we do. So we provide a home away from home. We keep families close and comfortable.
The CEO, Alice Horton's granddaughter, was in the hospital years ago where Horton was a guest at Ronald McDonald House in Philadelphia. In just about 2 weeks, a sea of green will be in downtown Wilkes-Barre for the 39th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Thousands of people are preparing to line the streets on Sunday, March 10th. WYLN is proud once again to bring you the parade live at 2 p.m. thanks to Service Electric Cable TV and Communications of Wilkes-Barre. Join Paula Degnan and myself as we announce the parade and speak with those hanging out and watching the parade. Today, Mayor Tony George announced that Magistrate Judge Thomas Moy Sr. will be this year's Grand Marshal of the parade. Once again, the 39th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade is set for next Sunday, March 10th, beginning at 2 p.m. That's the news. Remember, you can always get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page, and stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
At Grand Central, our